Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to the rebrand episode from Danger Cats podcast to the Uncle Hack podcast. I know a lot of you are looking and thinking, holy fuck, why did he do it? Why did he do it? Why did this lunatic go ahead and change the name of the podcast we once loved? Well, that is a once love now. We've moved on. Ego's bigger. I like to look at it like this, okay? Let's put this in layman terms, very simplified. I know I, myself, am a moron. I'm going to go with you, or maybe not a moron. But getting to brass tacks here, sometimes a man outgrows his own village. A man will go to different places to take a tribe further than what they need to be. And sometimes you got to branch off and take that tribe with you to those places they need to go, okay? And that was what our thought process was with the rebrand behind the Danger Cats podcast to the Uncle Hack podcast. And it's basically boils down to my ego. You know what I mean? Like, I created the brand Danger Cats, but then I figured, you know what, man? Why is this fucking thing so attached to me? Why can't it just be my shit? Why can't it be about me? It's all about Danger Cats. Now, where's my glory? Where's my fame? Where's the shit that I deserve? So I broke off. And after numerous talks with zero producers that want nothing to do with us, and zero talks with any sort of advertisers that figure we are worth anything to them, we're here. We're here now at the Uncle Hack podcast. And you know what I mean? Like I said, sometimes when a guy is in his own tribe and he starts up, it's the good old classic cartel story. You know what I mean? It's like El Chapo. El Chapo was once part of the Sinaloa cartel, right? And then he decided that I don't know the whole story. I think he created the Sinaloa cartel. I'd have to get you the details. We'll do that later. But what I'm getting at, El Chapo figured it was time that he took things to the next level, took it in his own hands. And I'm referring to myself as like a cartel because, if you think about it, the Danger Cats are kind of a cartel because when we go to places, it's widely known. You know what I mean? I may not be there. You might be there. You, the listener, a Danger Cat, could be in that bar making a mark for your name. You know what I mean? You could start with us and branch off and do your own thing. And that's cool. I like that. I like that I can have beginnings from this. And you're able to go out and do those things that you were meant to do in life. And that's where like I said, that's where we're at. We're out here. We're rebranding it, the Uncle Hack podcast, because, well, it is me here. There's really no other people other than when I have guests on the show. And when I have guests, it's still the Uncle Hack podcast. You know what I mean? So I just figured it was time anyways. On a serious note, I just figured it was better to label it that. It gives it a little bit of a degree of separation. I can build myself up as more of a character rather than it being Danger Cats. The Uncle Hack podcast makes more sense. The new branding looks sick, doesn't it? Huh? Doesn't that look good? For those listening on iTunes, those listening in Spotify out in the work truck, just sitting there giving your boss the middle finger, telling you, no, we're not working, okay? We're taking an hour out of our time because I got to figure out what this moron's up to. I got to listen to him. I gotta hear what this fucking dipshit has to say. Suck my white taint. Not that saying that every white guy listens to this. All ethnicities and races, religions are welcomed here. We don't care. We don't give a shit. Not like the rest of the world. Here, we don't give a shit. We just like if you're pounding beers and getting puss. That's all. If you're a chick listening to this, hopefully you're getting some cack. But that's all we really give a shit about. That's all we care. And if you care about those things, fucking and drinking, then welcome to the club. I'm happy to have you here. More than happy to welcome you with open arms into a community that accepts you for who you are and what you do. You don't need to dress a certain way. You don't need to look a certain way. You just need to like drinking and fucking. That's all. And welcome to the family. But yes, the Uncle Hack podcast. It pretty egotistic of me to do such a thing, you know. And I got to be honest with you guys. When we're putting Joe Rogan on his heels right now, I'm out here collecting about 1,200 views on YouTube per episode. And he's looking at this going, Jesus, this guy's nipping at my heels. What? And he's going to go and rebrand himself? Is this guy insane? And I say, yes. Yes, I'm a little off kilt right now. You know what I mean? I'm figuring this all out. I'm flying by the seam of my pants. And when you got a big dog like Rogan being like, oh boy, this little fella, what's he doing down here? He's collecting listens right now. He's out here getting them listens. And whew, I just feel bad for the guy. You know what I mean? He just inked that big contract and they're looking at me like, we're waiting for him to get a little bigger, Joe, and we're going to have to get you to step aside. Because with this moron from Edmonton, Alberta, originally raised in Tabor, by the way, and we're going to get later in the show, I got something for you. I'm asking for a favor from you, the listener, for once. For once and for all, I'm asking for a favor. And it involves possibly a little online war with my hometown. Just, you know, nothing too serious. We don't want to, no lives lost. All right. We just want to ruffle some feathers because there is something that I just need from you. In the rebrand of the show, we're going for things and going places that no other podcaster in this province has done, right? We're going to use the power of the internet for our own selfish behavior and also accomplishments. Because I know you guys are hardworking men and women. I'm doubting that any women listen to this show, and I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Because, like, unless those women like fucking and drinking, and it's sad to think that not everybody gets down like that. You know, the presidential election's going down. Do we care? Not really. I'm just right now. I'm worried a little more about, is my fridge going to be full of some of that sweet nectar? Am I going to be able to come home after a hard day of work, crack open a few cold ones, and just sit there and like jiggle the old lady's tits? Because that's the type of guy I am. Just a misogynist that's really just looking to just frick. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with fricking and drinking. I said it before this pandemic, or actually right when this pandemic hit. I was like, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to just hunker down with the old lady, have a conversation, fuck the brains out of one another. That's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be arguing and fighting, having domestics. No, fuck no. Have a few drinks, not too many, just a few. Get loose, feel limber, try some weird shit, you know? Put things where things shouldn't go. Try it out. Who cares? You were locked down. Nobody's judging you. Nobody has, unless you're throwing it on your OnlyFans to fucking make some money. And that I respect. If you get to fuck your old lady and make an income off of it, what? Hello. I'm okay with that. Why would you talk shit on something like that? That right there is the biggest form of jealousy. Because you know, and I know, if we were getting paid to fuck, you wouldn't be listening to this, and I wouldn't be doing this. And that's just the case. I don't know if I could sell fuck tapes. I would. That's an answer I'd like to hear, or even know. You know what I mean? And maybe one day we'll find out. Next pandemic, maybe I'm slinging horn on OnlyFans to try and make a quick buck. You know, pay the rent. Get some beer in the fridge. Well, not a horrible way to make a living, quite honestly. Everybody's always saying, oh, yeah. I remember one time when I was a kid, my grandma looked at all of us, and they're like, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, you know, like, and don't just give me some cookie cutter answer like, I'm going to play in the NHL. And we're teenagers at the time, so we got a little bit of of a little bit of life experience. As a teenager, I'm not saying like a lot, but just enough to like, figure out what it is we like. What's our interests? Okay. And grandma looks at me and my cousins, and we're going through the list and be like, I don't know what I want to do. Quite honestly, I don't know what I want to do. And one of the cousins pipes up and says, well, I want to be a porn star. And that's a great answer. So why? And now in the time that we're in, you can be that. You can just film yourself, amateur porn, throw it on the internet. And some of these motherfuckers are making 15 grand a month. 15 G's a month to tee off on the old lady? Oh, okay. Sign me up. Fuck. So you're telling me I can pay rent and finally have money for vacations? Come on. We'd be insane not to, anytime, I wouldn't do that. Of course you wouldn't, because nobody's paying your fat ass to fuck your old lady on the internet. You could do it, put it on the internet, and still make no money. Nobody wants to see you frick. And that's okay. That's okay too. Now, yeah, the flip side of that, maybe you aren't able to get that cool office job, but do you care? If you're smart with your money, oh God, you could in a year, you could put away 100 grand. Holy shit. It's a fucking different world. But yeah, like I said, beginning of the pandemic, you should have just locked down. No domestics. Don't fight with the old lady. Why do you want to fight with the old lady when you got to live with her and you're spending so much time around her? I understand it, but it's like, instead of taking physical abuse to the next level, why not just use it, channel that into sexual frustration, fuck the nines off one another, have a giggle. You know what I mean? Do some weird shit, bond a little bit. It doesn't hurt, open up, take the walls down. Listen, shit bugs me when you fucking walk on your heels and you just stomp the floor as I'm just like sitting on the couch and I got to hear boom, 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 drives me nuts. Can you just walk a little lighter? But then you got to be ready for the return. Because, if you're going to serve something up, sometimes that serve gets through, but get ready for a rally. You're in for a verbal rally. That's right. I'm referring to a verbal fight as tennis. And you might rally for a little bit. But you know what? It's not about finding the winner. It's just a friendly game. It's just a friendly game. This isn't fucking Wimbledon, okay? It's not Wimbledon. You're not going to sit here and get into a verbal. That's when you start digging up old shit. And then maybe that's where the domestic starts. But that's when you got to channel that. You got to be smarter. You got to think at an elevated place and channel that into some just like masculine sexual energy. And then you just look at her, baby. Oh man, I love it when you're furious, because then you're going to get the nines. Like, take that out. Don't hit me. Maybe giving you a little slap. But I just want you to take that fucking just hatred out on this dick. And that's okay. But yeah, anyways, we've rebranded. As you've probably noticed, we've rebranded. We interrupt you quickly for a shameless promo. And you're like, oh, hack, since when are you doing ads? Today, because it's the rebrand. It's the rebrand episode. So today, we're doing ads. We're slipping one in. I know you like this podcast because you're listening to it right now. Do you want it 48 hours earlier than the rest of the peasants that are listening to it for free? Of course you do. Of course you do. I'm trying to convince you. I'm a salesman now. You can head to patreon.com/dangercat69. Get this podcast 48 hours earlier than everybody else, plus exclusive behind the scenes content that we shoot with Danger Kittens. We also have all the shoots going up there, photos. You can then become a producer of this podcast by becoming a Danger Dong on Patreon. That's right. As you'll see watching on YouTube in the scroll at the end, your name could be in that by becoming a Danger Dong. You will also be mailed out a package from our wonderful team here, me, at Danger Cats. And it will include a sexy little patch, official member, if you will. A sticker pack. How about that? Little stickers. Everybody likes stickers. Just saying. And on top of it, you get some titties on top of it. We love titties. Now you're going, oh my God, he degrades women. No, I don't. Nuh-uh. I appreciate them. And these women appreciate being having me behind the lens and shoot them. So we just became business partners and made a fucking little deal. Next on the list, head to dangercatshop.com. Use the code HACK15 and get 15% off those glorious threats. We got new shit coming out right away. We're working on some stuff. We're working real fucking hard lately. I pulled up my socks. I'm not a sad boy anymore. I'm off the cocaine. I'm taking that cocaine energy and channeling it into work. All right? That's what I'm doing. So if you use HACK15 at dangercatshop.com, you'll get 15% off your order today. Yeah. Like I said earlier, when we were getting into this, we're waging war on my hometown, all right? I'm going to show you something. For the listeners in the pickup truck, right? What we got here, take a little look at that. We're going to zoom in on that. Take a look at that. All right, I'm going to explain this to you. It's a nice plaque, okay? About the size of a sheet of paper. Tabor Minor Hockey, midget most valuable player, 2007-2008. That's right. Sponsored by, now this is the best part of it, sponsored by Frida's Mobile Court. How wonderful is that? That a trailer park sponsored the most valuable midget hockey player in 2007-2008, and I just so happened to be the guy that solely deserved this award, I may say. You know, I was a young man on a mission, and did a few guys from my hometown go to the NHL? Yes. Do they have this award? This award in my hand? No, they don't, actually. They don't. And what I'm getting at with this is it's a damn shame that Tabor, my hometown, doesn't even have me on the ballot and being in their Sports Hall of Fame. So this is me coming at you. You know, Tabor's been in the news for horrible things, first off, we'll get the worst of the worst right out of the way. There was an awful shooting in my hometown. We're not going to dive into that because this isn't a depressing podcast. Okay. That happened. Then there was, those stupid laws that they put into place. No spitting in public. Can't walk in groups of 3. No swearing in public. Okay. That happened. World news. There was, it's been widely known that they don't want marijuana in the town, and there was a big uproar about that. We've been in world news for too many horrendous things. It's time to shed some positive back on the town. And I think by, let's be honest here, very notable character to leave the town, go to the big city and chase a dream. And we're still chasing the dream. But by, just throwing your guy 5-3 professional mixed martial arts, most valuable player in the midget Tabor Minor Hockey League, 2007-2008. A couple men's hockey tournaments under my belt. What can I say? I'm a generational athlete, and the recognition just isn't there from my own hometown. You know what I mean? A lot of men and women have went to do great things, and I'm not discrediting them. I'm just saying I think it's a damn shame that I'm just not getting a little bit in return. You know what I mean? I'm constantly shouting you out. Shout me out. I'm trying to get some reciprocation of the love, and I'm just not getting it. The people of the town, great. Now the people on the board, people in office down there, I think it's time. I think it's time you do some good. Because right now, this is where I come to you. I'm asking to tweet them. Let's get a little social warfare, if you will. I don't want to see anybody injured, but let's put the pressure on him. Put this man on the ballot. Put this man on the ballot. At least. Do I need full-blown entry right into the Tabor Sports Hall of Fame? Yes, I think I do. I think I deserve it, but sometimes there's a process for that to happen. And to speed that process up, I'm asking you, the listener, you beautiful people out there, all you dudes out there with giant penises between your legs, working your ass off. I'm asking you to take 2 seconds out of your day and just tweet the town of Tabor and be like, yeah, listen, you sons of bitches, hack Hack deserves this, 5-3 professional record of mixed martial arts. And you're just going to leave the 2007 to 2008 most valuable midget minor hockey player in the town out of the question? Something's wrong. See, there's, it's a damn shame to know that politics is corrupt from the federal level right down to the municipal, butchered that word. And the counties across the land, how many, that makes me ask, how many guys are like me are out there that their own town won't even give them a little kickback? Oh, that's all I'm asking. Tabor Sports Hall of Fame. And that's where I'm at. That's why I come to you. You wonderful. See, you giant dick bastards out there. Giant, huge slongs. And, to the women that do listen to this, I imagine that you have giant tits. Tightest puss on the planet. I'm boosting you up. Giant tits, big booties. It doesn't matter. Big or small, we love them all. I'm just asking you, waging a war with me. Dive in. Fucking don't worry. I'll lead the torch. I just need my soldiers with me. I'm not going to stop until at least there's some at least maybe even like, you know what? Ballots full this year. We'll put you on the 2021 class. That's all I need to hear. And then we'll follow up in 2021. But until then, until I hear anything back, I'm going to constantly be on their ass. Constantly be on their ass until I hear something. Because I do think it's ridiculous, when greatness isn't recognized. I don't know what to say. That feeling when you're hungover and you go and eat McDonald's and, you just pounded a 40 of whiskey the night before. You got cranked. You no water, straight whiskey to the dome. And the next day you wake up and you got that uneasy feeling. So you go eat McDonald's and you think it's going to fix the issue at hand, but it doesn't fix the issue at hand. And you're sitting there with just this rock in your stomach and you're sweating. And that's how I feel on the inside all the time. It's sad. It's sad to know that this is happening. This is happening. How many guys are out there? And you know what? If you're one of those guys, we will join the fight to get you in your local sports hall of fame, because maybe you are walking around with an MMA record, with a professional MMA record, I may add. Maybe you're walking around. Maybe you won a Calder Cup, huh? Maybe you went and played professional hockey overseas. Maybe you were a dart player and you made the pro circuit. Professional bowler, lawn bowlers. How many of you are out there walking around with no recognition from your hometown? And it's sickening. It's sickening. It's time to, ruffle the feathers of these offices that are in these little small towns around the planet and get these people the recognition that they need and deserving credibility and deserve the credibility that they should be receiving. It's disgusting. Politics is corrupt. Right from the fucking sports hall of fame in your own hometown. But I'm coming for you. Don't think that I'm going to sit back. This isn't just he's going to talk about it one time. No. Not just one time. I'm coming for you. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Hack, how was your weekend, though? I seen you posted on Instagram, Hack, that you did your first stand-up show. And I'm going to explain it to you, okay? It went well, by the way. I, however, am an idiot. I don't look into things. I just sign up for stuff, and I just go for it. You know what I mean? No look, just go. I've got, we were banging rocks. We were banging 3-gram rocks. I got one gear. Go. Tiger blood. And I show up and I think it's an open mic. Not the case. It is a full-on show. I then proceed to look at the producer of the show and tell him, look, man, I got 5 minutes and it's not even good. I got 5 minutes of material and it is not even good. I am trying to figure out jokes that are going to land. I write a lot, but then I look at it and I'm like, I get in my own head and I don't think it's funny. So I don't try it on stage. But in this particular instance, this man looked at me and goes, well, how the show goes is this is called the Cyber Gong. And everybody in the audience has an app open on their phone and they're going to rate you on what they like with what your material is. And there's screens plastered all over the fucking place. So you can see your rating drop, go up. And it's just the most nerve-wracking thing on the fucking planet. Now, keep in mind, I've only done 3 open mics and then this. And it is so nerve-wracking. I get up there, my first joke bombs, doesn't work, and then I just go off the top. I'm just kind of being myself, which I think maybe I got to start doing more. Well, I was myself, but I was trying to word the joke. You know what I mean? I'm like ironing out the joke. I don't know. So then I just started doing shit I would do with my buddies. I was talking to the audience like I'd do with my buddies. And I'm not sitting here being like, I'm a crowd work specialist. I was just going off the top. I was riffing the whole time. And it was landing. And I was murdering out there. 3 applause breaks. No big deal. Humble brag right there. A little pat on the back, if you will. Little pat on the back for myself. But prior to this, I'm watching comics go up there, get the gong. They're like guys that are actually like good in the city are getting the gong. So I am just shitting bricks. I'm like, oh God, man, this is going to be like the first time I went up. I'm like fucking nervous. There's a few people in the crowd that are like, love the channel. I'm like, oh great. Now these guys got to watch me just die up there, die a lonely death. You know what I mean? And surprisingly, it went well. The funniest part of it, this kills me. After the show's done, the promoter or the guy that runs the show, he goes, yeah, I pay all my comedians. All right. I pay all my comedians. Da, 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 da. He gives this big spiel. Great show tonight. He gives me a pat on the back. Great set. Love to have you back. And he goes, I always pay my comedians. And in my head, I'm like, shit, yeah, dude, am I about to make like $100, $50? Shells out a fucking crisp 20. Like I just landed myself my first big time check. And that moment right there, I wish I could, I'll try and paint this for you. He's a bigger gentleman and a little more loud, abrasive, in your face. You know, if you've watched the show before and you've seen Tyler on here, very similar to Tyler. Very, one of them guys. And yeah, he pulls out a 20 and he goes, you earned this. Slides her on the table to me. I'm like, oh, right on. And I hear it like, I shouldn't be like that guy. I'm very grateful. That's the first $20 I ever made off stand-up comedy. And I've never been happier. But just the way he was wording it beforehand, I was getting prepared of like, oh, shit. It's like, you know, when you were a kid and you thought like the Tooth Fairy was going to give you like some fat stacks, like maybe $10, $5. And then you wake up to like a loony and you're like, I feel like I got ripped off. That's like kind of a similar feeling I felt. I don't feel like I got ripped off. I'm not like saying like that I deserve more. I'm not saying that at all. But it was just like I expected in my head a larger amount of money, even though I'm a fucking nobody in the stand-up scene and my fucking ego took over for a second there. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like laughing at myself and also this guy because he's playing it off like, oh yeah, you're going to get paid, buddy. You're going to get paid. You were up there. You did 10 minutes all riffing and doing some crowd work. And when I say I'm doing crowd work, like before, I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. I don't. I was just joking with people, doing what I do, man. And it worked. And yeah, I'm going to pay my comedians, you know. I pay my comedians. Not like these other fucks in this city. I pay my comedians. Here's 20 beanos. Get yourself a donaire. Pepsi and a side of fries, and you might be able to use that extra $3 to bum some smokes off a guy outside the bar. There you go. Slides her across the table. Oh, I see you are a man of wealth as well. Oh, no, but it was great. Felt awesome to get up there and try my shit and actually have some fun with it. And it was great to get in front of a real crowd. You know what I mean? Like we're in a bar, we're out in, this all went down in St. Albert, Alberta. And for those asking, no, I am not going to post where I'm at in the city. I think that's, I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm there yet. And I don't want to, do that quite yet. I want to get good before I even say anything to anybody about where I'm at, what I'm doing. And if I get a spot on a show, then I'll say something. If you just so happen to be in Edmonton and you catch me at an open mic somewhere, great. Say hi. Let me know what you think. Be constructive. I love the feedback. You know what I mean? I say, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot. You know what I mean? Of course you do. Of course you know what I mean, you fucking idiot, Brendon. You fucking putz. The glorious thing. You know, one of the things I was really riffing on is just like how dudes are compared to guys back in the day. I had a table of old people right in front of me, and they were like the brunt of a lot of my jokes and what I was talking about with them. But one thing I got going off on was just like, man, men back then were just, they were different. They were bred different. Like here's one for you. I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast, but when I was 16 years old, my grandpa Black here, he brought a black prostitute to dinner one time. And not just any particular dinner. I'm talking about Thanksgiving dinner, because that's the type of man he is. He doesn't give a shit, and he owns his shit. You know what I mean? Like, he understands himself as a human being, and he brought a black prostitute to dinner, not only because he does not give a shit, but because of the man that he is, and he owns it. And you know what? I respect that about him. At the time, I thought it was really strange, really weird. You know what? But that's a man's man right there. Not only, so he's a truck driver. He brought her all the way from Toronto to Tabor, Alberta. That's like, fuck, I don't even know how many kilometers it is, but that's a hike. That's a hike. We're talking basically Toronto to south of Calgary by 2 hours, to paint a picture for you. I don't even know what that is, an hour drive, like a 30 hour drive, I'm guessing, 30-hour drive. And that man brought her back in a semi-truck. Now, I get, he understands there's a transaction going on there. He's paying her to fuck her, because that's Grandpa's a classy man, okay? He also, though, goes a step above. That's the kind of guy. That's the kind of guy my grandfather is. He goes a step above. He doesn't just, oh, you're just my little sex kitten for the week. No, come and meet the family. And that's the kind of men that were back in the day. You know what I mean? They went a step above. It wasn't just like swipe right on Tinder asking for some puss right away. No. They went out. They took a girl dancing, right? They took a girl dancing. And then she played a little hard to get. So he took her to dinner for a milkshake after. And then it was that time of the night where she's got to go home. And then maybe, just maybe, you got a kiss. Maybe you got a kiss. You weren't just slugging dick all day long. See, that's where the game is fucked up these days. Girls got easier and the men got to do less. Tighten up your game. Tighten up your game, bitches. And I know before, heck, you were just talking about fucking OnlyFans chicks and stuff like that. That's a hustle. That's a hustle. Big difference there from hustle to, your love life. If your old lady was doing the OnlyFans thing, who gives a shit? I'm fucking, dude, I'm all for it. Who gives a fuck? Fuck, dude. If the old lady's bringing in racks and you can take a little pressure off you going for what? Sending a picture of her tits? Who gives a shit? Why does that bother people so bad? They're fucking titties. You know how many titties are in the world? Titties outnumber us by a landslide. And I'm proud to live in a world like that I know that there's more tits in this world than there is dudes. Makes me happy. It brings me joy. And the fact that, you know what? A lot of us just want to see titties. And we're willing to pay $4, $5, $10, $15 a month to see it. We are. And maybe a little extra. And I'm all for that. And if your old lady figures like, I could probably make $5-6 extra grand a month, probably pay off the mortgage a little sooner. For what? Showing your cans? Come on. Easy work, son. You go out there. So you go out there, you're on the pipeline. We're going to say this guy's a pipeliner, right? You go out there, you're busting your back all day long. You're lifting heavy shit. You're sore. You're mentally drained. You're exhausted. You're getting depressed because you're away from home for 30 fucking days at a time. You don't see your kids. You don't get to watch them take their first steps. You don't get to take them to their first day of school because daddy's out getting that grind on. But then the wife goes, listen, I put a lot of thought in this. Now this wife that of my fictional character actually gives a shit. There's no problems at home. He goes out there and grinds. She appreciates her man because he is out there doing what he needs to do to provide for the family, okay? That's the kind of guy we're talking about right now. So he goes and does all that, right? And she goes, listen, the neighbor lady told me she's making about 4 or 5K a month selling titty pics. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. If I do that, would you take a job in town? She's thinking about you. She's not even thinking about the losers that are going to be paying for the $5, $10 a month. She's thinking about you. She's trying to use her titties to make sure her man's home to suck on them things. That's what she wants. She just wants you home a little longer. She just wants you home a little longer. And do you go for it? I go for it all day long. I fucking hate being cold. I fucking hate being in the sun sweating all day long. I don't want to fuck any guy that wants to brag about how hard he works. I fucking, you know what? I work so hard. Yeah. Like always work hard. But do I want to do physical labor till the end of my life? No. God, no. Why do you think I'm on this shit so hard? I'm just You want to see hard work, son? You sit in a fucking chair. Good for fucking me. If anything, I should be proud of myself from going from a job that I didn't like to this. And then, way to make this fictional character about you, hack, you self-righteous prick. You son of a bitch. Everything doesn't need to be about you, especially about this fictional character that you've just brewed up in your own skull. Now get back to the fictional character. That's what we're here for. We know enough about you, you stupid son of a bitch. Get off the goddamn character. But okay, the pipeliner, wife wants him home. Now we're back on the OnlyFans subject. She's talking about selling titty pics and making 4 or 5K. We're going to say she's going to make about 4 or 5K US dollars, by the way, in the pocket. Do you just go, yeah, you know what? I'm tired of fucking working hard. And if she loves you, who gives a shit, dude? She fucking loves you. That's the problem. All you fucking losers out there seem to think that you own these women. And if she left you, say she leaves and she goes, fuck this guy. I'm going to go out, sling titty pics and live my best life without him. You're probably going to look around and be like, oh, fuck, maybe I did love her. Maybe she was the one. She was thinking about you because you know what? We've all been in those lonely nights after a nice little breakup. It's all fun and games that the boys take you out, but then there's those nights where you got to spend alone. You got to go dig in the skull and you remember of all them small little things that she did. You know what I'm talking about? Like a song comes on the radio or you're in Walmart because, you're broke again. You have to start over fresh. You're in Walmart, the epicenter of broken dreams, and you're sitting there and that song that would come on the radio that you both liked. You'd sing it with one another. She'd have a little twinkle in her eye. You know, there was a breeze coming in the truck window and the nips were gotten a little hard and you're thinking like, that's I'd sprinkle a little sugar on you and call you my Sunday. That's, you know what I mean? That's right there. That's my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, fucking all through the week. I just want a little snippet of that. That's my dessert. I eat my dessert in the morning, by the way. And then all because, the old lady's thinking about you slinging titty pics. God bless her. God bless her. She wants to take you on vacation. You know what? Babe, I really want to go on a vacation. Snaps a pic of the tits, throws it online. Oh, looks like we're going to fucking Cabo this week. Mama made some bread. We're getting the fuck out of here. We're going to go enjoy ourselves. Mama's going to take a few pics on the fucking balcony. Boom, online, and we're going on another vacay. Oh, you want to stay another 2 weeks? Hey, babe, take a picture of the booty hole. We're going to throw it online, make some racks. And then we're going over to fucking, we're going to Bora Bora. We're going to Bora Bora. And we're going to hop on a yacht and see some shit. And that's when it all begins. That's when you start living. Fucking rights. I respect dudes that are out there and they haven't understand. Well, that's not what men do. That's not what fucking men do. Men work hard. You can work hard. But if your old lady's going to fucking take care of your man, fuck yeah, kick your feet up for a little bit, brother. You enjoy that shit. That's a good woman too. She's thinking more about you than anything else. She's thinking about her tatas, making some cheddar for you two to spend more time together. That's a fucking 2020 love story if I've ever heard of one. Fuck, did I get off topic? Yeah, like I said, my grandfather, when I was 16 years old, brought a black prostitute to Thanksgiving dinner. And me being the naive child that I was, I looked around and I looked at my auntie and I said, who is that? I don't know her. And it doesn't bother me one bit about race. Everybody's on this racial fucking tension right now. Everybody has racial tension. Didn't bother me. Just didn't know who she was. Who is that? And she goes, that's your grandfather's friend. I'm like, what do you mean, friend? And then all of a sudden it clicked. Got it. And there was a newfound respect that day for my grandfather, by the way. Now, me, if you know a little bit about me, I'm a big fan of hip hop music. I really enjoy rap music. What's in rap music? A lot of ebony women shaking their behinds. Big fan of that. Big fan. I have a mild attraction to black women. It's not a fetish. It's not, I grew up watching that stuff. That was attractive to me. Okay. Now I know grandpa, right? Grandpa likes little Cocoa Puffs in his milk. Now me and him are bonding. I get him now. Me and him have a full on understanding. See, this is the wisdom that this man passes down to me. That's the kind of guy he is. And guess what? Know what? He's a gentleman on top of it. He's a gentleman. Not only is he, going to that place where he's paying for sex, or he's that man that pays for sex. He's an elder gentleman. He has an acquired taste. Sometimes that acquired taste isn't really his cup of tea or her cup of tea. Sorry, I fucked that up. So he pays for it. But he's a gentleman on top of it. Brings her to family dinner. Newfound respect. Not only does he take a woman that is willing to sell a little bit of a gene, which I'm all for, by the way. If you're a sex worker, God bless you. And he doesn't treat her any lesser than a human being. Invites her to dinner. That's a fucking gentleman. That's a man right there, baby. That's a man. And I respect my grandfather for doing that. He taught me a good lesson that day. It doesn't matter what walk of life that woman is coming from. If she's selling you a little poon, she's selling you a little nanny, treat her like a woman. Treat her like a woman. Sat her at the table with the family after. It's widely known. Grandpa has a hooker here. Nobody gave a shit because that's the kind of man he is. He sits at the table. He's earned his respect. We respect him. And then he pulls a stunt like that. And then you learned a little right there. You learned. Grandpa brings black hooker to Thanksgiving dinner and he just treats her like a woman. Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a single shit what anybody else had to say because he's a legend like that. And I respect that man for that. And later in life, I looked at him and I asked him about that. And he goes, you know what? Yeah, I did that. I'm like, what, didn't you think like it was a little weird? What's weird about it? Just shrugged it off. He just hit me with a shoulder shrug like I'm the idiot. He looked at me like, what, why? I brought a date. Oh, forgive me, Grandpa. I am a moron. Yes, you did bring a date. Well played. And you just showed why you are a legend. And that's the lineage I come from. And that man is fucking legendary for pulling that stunt. It's one of the best moves I've ever seen on this planet. brings a prostitute to dinner, treats her like a woman, and then just probably knock the guts out of her later, because that's my granddad, baby. That's how we get down. I love the fact that he is like because I asked him, I was like, is it because of who she is? And like, I'm tiptoeing around. Yeah. He's like, what? I like black girls. I'm like, what? I wasn't ready for a blunt answer. You know, remember, I'm a young lad still at this time. This is later in life. I'm not 16. I think I was like 20. I brought it up. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Fumbling my words, not getting it out. And he just looks at me. Yeah. So what? I like black women. What's wrong with that? And I'm like, you're 100% wrong. And that man killed racism in my head at a very young age because of that stunt. And he was like, what? So what? The fuck does it matter? I like what I like. They're attractive to me. Good point. And like, Grandpa, I'm just saying, you ever watched BET Uncut? You ever watched like rap videos? He's like, I don't like rap music. I'm fucking 70 years old, man. The fuck am I going to do listening to rap music? Good point. It's a young man's game, rap music. Especially a young white boy from a small town. Rap isn't so popular there. My group of friends really enjoyed rap music because we were stoners. But that was a brilliant lesson that I learned. Later in life, I look at that and I dissect these little things that I picked up. And, I believe that was one of them. So shout out to my grandpa for that. What a legend. Oh. But yeah, it's just a fucking weird change of times. You know what I mean? Like, that's what men did, you know? They just did man shit and it was okay. It's sad to see, we got male feminists and female meninists now. It blows my mind. It actually hurts me inside to see what's happening. Like, kids these days just don't have a clue. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of had to learn a little bit of the hard way. Like, I'm 29 years old and we had to learn a little bit the hard way. You had to learn some shit the hard way. It's just how it was. You didn't have the internet to back you up on all little things that you thought you knew. There wasn't some kid in the back of the class. Well, actually, Wikipedia, fuck you. My mom's, it was like my mom versus your mom. My dad versus your dad. My dad could beat you up. Now it's like, Mom, my dad, actually, he is so woke that he never sleeps. Now it's a battle of the wokeness. You got cool dads popping up. Let me be in your TikTok. Can I be in your TikTok? Well, heck, you do TikTok. Yeah, I do TikTok. I find it amusing, actually. But now, like me as a grown-ass father, if I was like, oh my God, let me be in your little dancing TikTok. And all these fucking people are like, oh my God, that's so cute. No, it's not. It's demasculating. You want to talk about toxic masculinity? Let's talk about toxic men. Just fucking toxic femininity. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Toxic femininity. It's severing balls by the day. We're just castrating ourselves at this point. Be like, let me be in your TikTok. Let me be in your TikTok, honey. Why won't you let me do a cool dance like Charlie D'Amelio? Why won't you let me do a cool dance like Addison Rae in your TikTok, babe? Huh, honey? Why isn't daddy in your TikTok? Isn't that fucked up that daddy, is daddy going to be in your TikTok? Oh, God. It's so cringy. I dated a girl and she would call her dad daddy. And it's like, hi, daddy. And it just it just made me like, oh, God, why? Don't use that around me, please. It just hurts me. I don't like being called daddy in the sack, but it's been sexualized too much in the general public that you can't hear that word without thinking that right away. Daddy. Oh, hi, daddy. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that or you're going to be single. You got to, like, when I'm in the room with you, don't bring that up. I don't want to hear that shit. I get instantly pissed off. I'm like, listen, fucking Jerry, don't let her call you daddy or I'm gonna have to beat the fuck out of both of you. I'll come in this house and I'll flip this motherfucker upside down. He's like, whoa. All I want to do is just be in her TikTok. What's the matter? Daddy can't be in the TikTok? Fuck no, you can't. Fuck no, you can't. Ugh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached a point where maybe I'm going to shut this off. Maybe. But I'm going to say I'm so happy that you've stuck around this far. I appreciate it. With the rebrand, it's fun. As you can tell, I'm going to be more sarcastic on here. I'm going to be a little bit more myself. I'm in a place now where I've got more confidence. I'm feeling more confident now. No drugs, no booze. I'm really harnessing everything I have into comedy. You probably noticed that we're posting more videos on YouTube throughout shit. We're trying to expand. We got some really cool new shows coming out on our YouTube channel. Bringing some more characters on the brand. Building a lot of cool things. And I owe it all to you guys. You guys tune into this. You've given me a platform to push my comedy into the world by sharing videos, buying merch, supporting us, and doing all that. And the main reason for the rebrand is pretty much just to make it more my shit and less of the brands. So that way, like, it is still a Danger Cat byproduct, call it what it is, but it just gives more of my feel to it. And I can still do Danger Cat stuff over here, and then have the Uncle Hack podcast, and then the number of shows that we're in the middle of producing put out into the world. And I think this was just a good move going in, especially, the past year until this date. If we were to rewind a year ago, I was not in a good headspace. I just got over my cocaine usage, and it was like I've been like, maybe 3-4 months without touching it, and still trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. I had a relationship just hit the shitter about a year and a bit, and I've talked about that, and I just kind of, it's taken a year. And for those of you that are going through rough times and stuff like that, and you come to this podcast and you get that escape from the real world. I'm not talking politics no more. I'm just going to talk about funny shit and things that I notice in the world and things that make me laugh. And I'm going to bring that onto the podcast and talk about that. I don't need, everybody's been up my ass about doing more political shit, but you know what, man, the social climate right now and the political climate is so fucking hot that touching it, I just feel like I don't want to add to it. I'd rather you dudes and women that do listen to this, that come to this show and look for an escape to get away from the real world. We're going to find funny news and we'll talk about that. We're going to I'm going to dig up some old stories. I'm going to get some old good stories, like my grandfather bringing the prostitute to Thanksgiving dinner. That's one of the funniest fucking things I've ever heard of. That's the most gangster shit on the planet. And we're just going to talk about that, a little bit about my life, things that are going on with me, the funny shit that's happened, funny things that I notice in the world. And we're going to bring that more into play. I think the politics thing just needs to die and go away for right now because, it's affecting a lot of people and it's constantly in the news. It's constantly in your face. Everybody's talking about it. So to come here and have this as an escape where you can just kick back, let me take over your airwaves for a little bit, baby, and bring some funny back into the world. I'm tired of that's another thing like I don't miss is like, the backlash. As soon as you draw a line in the sand of where you stand, it just divides an audience. And like I said earlier, we want this audience just to be a bunch of people that like drinking and fucking. And nothing wrong with either one of those. Drinking and fucking. That's all we really like doing. And it sucks because as soon as you draw that line in the sand, who cares? Honestly, is it that bad? Like, yeah, when the far left and far right start talking, they're both maniacs. Level-headed people that are in the middle that can have conversations with one another, that enjoy some comedy. This is now going to be that moving forward. And I think that was a bit to do with the rebrand, is to just get a little more wholesome, get a little more funny, be myself on a podcast and just run my lips and hopefully grow it. If you've gotten this far, please smash the like button. That's a very YouTuber thing of me to do. Smash the like button. If you're on iTunes, give us a rating. I really like reading them. They make me laugh. Some of them are fucking hilarious. And to all the Patreon Danger Dongs, I really appreciate you. Thank you for being an executive producer. And here we go. Roll credits.